Does anyone here ever think to themselves why we're always moving 1,000 miles an hour, whether it be school related or just plain and simple, why we have 20 different thoughts on our minds at all times about random things? This used to be me a few years ago when I was back in high school. My mind was always thinking about what I needed to do to get the best grade in my class and how I needed to figure that out. And then I found out how to let my brain just kind of let go and take a break sometimes back at 2017 at summer camp in Colorado. This journey begins with myself and a few friends that were just sitting in class talking to each other after we had done all of our assignments. And one of my friends asked me if I wanted to go to Young Life Camp with her in Colorado Springs in about the middle of the summer. At first I was kind of hesitant to go, but then I came to realize that I'd actually probably have a great time, so I ended up agreeing to her and accepting her invitation to go with her. Come very beginning of July, January, like maybe July 3rd or 4th, everyone that was going on the trip met at Allen High School, and we started our 16-hour drive to Colorado Springs, Colorado, where camp was. And as soon as we got to the campsite, it was in the middle of the mountains and nowhere. And I was greeted by some of the camp counselors who I still talk to today and think of as some of my best friends to this day. After we got to camp and got settled into our rooms, there was about 500 of us in 14 or 16 different cabins. We got summoned to the main kind of area where everyone meets at night for service. And then after that, they asked us just to go find a place on the campsite just by ourselves to go sit and kind of reflect on why we're here and what we're doing. But of course, I never did that because it never used to be me. So whenever we would go do that, I would just kind of sit there and think about what we were doing tomorrow, what was going on, what I needed to do to get prepared for what we were doing tomorrow. And unbeknownst to me, in the near future, I would actually kind of follow what they wanted us to do and actually go sit by myself and reflect and just kind of let my brain take a break. On the third or fourth to last day of us being there, we were all on a hike on one of the main mountains by the campsite right behind it. And I finally caught myself, just kind of drifting off and not thinking about anything but what I was doing at that moment, which was hiking and just hanging out with my friends and everything. And that was really nice. I've not felt that in a long time. And after that, I kind of had finally had a glimpse of what it could be like just to kind of take a brain break and let go sometimes. So that night, after the day of our hiking, after service, I went and sat by myself as usual with the other nights and kind of just let go. And I didn't really have anything to think about. I was just looking at the stars, and it was really calming, and it was an awesome feeling. And even though I always used to be running 1,000 miles an hour in my head, I was finally just able to be in the moment, and which I still do today with all the school stuff that's going on. And if something's out of your comfort zone, just do it anyways. Just say yes or whatever it is. You probably won't regret it. And just learn to be able to let go. Like, everyone needs a brain break. Everyone needs a break, just a time away to think to themselves. And lastly, just learn how to be in the moment. Because if I didn't know how to do that, then I probably would still be going 1,000 miles an hour in my head and thinking about everything I needed to do in the near future, and not just taking a break and thinking what I'm doing now, and just try to have fun with it. So if you're ever going 1,000 miles an hour, just try to get lost in your own head and be in the moment so you can live the way life is supposed to be lived.